Thank you, Nate. At Plug and Play, we have a bird eye view of the innovation ecosystem across geographies and industries. And when we look at the hottest innovation topics across the ecosystem, such as autonomous vehicles, industrial IoT, cloud gaming, we can observe one common factor, and that is connectivity. Connectivity is already the backbone of many of today's most important technologies, and it will become ever more important with the advent of 5G and its applications that come with it. Telcos, as the primary provider of the connectivity services, should be well positioned to reap the benefit of this tailwind. But contrary to the expectation, we have observed many telcos struggle to perform despite the industry tailwind. We summed up a few major factors that we have observed in the next few slides. So some of the major factors we can observe include number one, a unitary price deflation across the developed market as a result of intensifying competition. So while data usage volume has drastically expanded in almost every single market, the price of data has declined at almost a similar proportion. The second reason is a ballooning capex and deployment complexity. The cost of rolling out 5G will be significantly more expensive than that of 4G networks, as new spectrums, small cell deployment, and other infrastructures will be needed on top of the existing 4G infrastructure. And finally, we have observed increased conversions from within the TMT industry, where deep-pocketed tech firms have expanded aggressively into the domain of vertically integrated telcos in areas such as content creation, content distribution, and even the mobility service itself. So in face of these myriad of challenges, telcos must find new ways to grow and take advantage of this trend, and Plug and Play is here to help. Next up, my colleague Martin will discuss more about our work with our telco partners.
Thank you, Jensen. So at Plug and Play, we believe we can help telecommunications companies create a competitive advantage in three ways. The first one, as Mr. Amidi mentioned, is by creating new business, by diversifying and expanding into new business areas. So if we go into the next slide, we can see that 5G will allow exponential growth in numerous applications across industries, and this will bring a countless number of startups that grows exponentially thanks to the enhanced mobile broadband, the ultra reliable, low latency communications, and the incredible density of machine-to-machine communications that the 5G network is going to bring, with up to 1 million per square kilometer M2M communications. And we will see this in the shape of the future of work, the future of education, global telemedicine, connected cities, of course, mobility, and so on, and things that we can't even imagine right now. So if we go to the next slide, we can see an example of a startup that's already starting to leverage 5G. It's just for fun. It's a white label cloud gaming platform, which is already starting to pilot with telcos. And by partnering with telecommunications, it's offering its subscribers and also generating new ones, high engagement with third-party developer games. This is a very low upfront cost for telcos, generating a high engagement and outsourced management. So this is a win-win. If we go to the next slide, we can see that the second area in which we believe we can help telecommunications companies is gain that customer edge by a more intelligent interpretation of the customer data and enhancing the data security, which will bring more customer loyalty. So if we skip to the next slide, we've detected so these couple areas that I just mentioned. In terms of customer data interpretation, machine learning and artificial intelligence will bring that real leap into real time, and generating that emotional connection with a customer, which at the same time will enhance the customer experience. So customer data interpretation brought by all the new machine learning algorithms will bring more sales and more loyalty. So enhancing the customer journey all the way. And we also believe that we also know that telecommunication companies are very well positioned in terms of trust. So people trust telecommunications companies with their data. So what we believe is that telecommunications companies are in a place where they can leverage their position with opportunities that come from handling sensitive data such as digital ID or healthcare related data. And so one example of a startup that's starting to leverage is Voixen, that's starting to leverage the machine learning opportunity with telecommunications companies. Voixen enhances the call center performance by increasing sales in 25%, by reducing handling time by 5%, and improving first call resolution rate by up to 10%, thanks to their text and speech analytics based on machine learning technology. So if we go to the next slide, another example of a startup that is creating new opportunities in terms of generating a customer edge is Neener Analytics. So a problem that many telecommunications companies have, actually in 60% of global markets, is that, well, traditional credit scoring systems end up rejecting customers or potential customers that could have been customers. So the problem that this telco partner of ours wanted to solve was, how do we say yes to more people? And Neener Analytics is outperforming any traditional credit scoring system by using their proprietary AI technology based on human data and how humans relate in social media. So the results of this partnership was 625,000 new customers in a year for our telco partner. And they also managed, so this was an 18% rejection recapture, and at the same time they reduced by 10% the defaults within their customer base. So the third area where we believe that plug and play can help telecommunications companies is in cost optimization. So startups and new technologies are enabling unprecedented efficiencies in operations and processes. So a few areas that we believe where we believe startups are going to play a relevant role is within telecommunications, is in remote monitoring, digital portfolio management, energy management, remote maintenance, site management, and end-to-end contract management. And one example of a partnership that happened within Plug and Play already is, with our telco partner Ooredoo, who we have the privilege to have been working with for a long time. We have, and they have already 3 startups in production with them. One example is K-Band Systems, which through their proprietary hardware and software technology are managing to create a more sustainable site through solar energy, with the objective of reducing by 50% their diesel OpEx. And for now, the journey is looking pretty promising. So with this, I will pass it back to Jensen, who will introduce our keynote speaker. Thank you.